So hello there, my name is Alvaro Javier Perengues and I'm a student of the program of BA in English as a foreign language, and this is going to be my final video about the proposal in the course Testing and Evaluating in ELT. Okay, so special greeting to my tutor Edner Suarez. Thank you so much for your support during all this academic course, and of course for my partners, thank you so much. Okay, and let's go. So here we're going to see the proposal for this specific population, and the proposal aims to improve or to evaluate. It goes to evaluate and to assess a specific group, and the group they have a special need. But it's not a cognitive need. They need to improve in two special skills in the language, which you're going to see in the next slide. It is supposed that this group it is at a B1 level, and because it is the level that it is supposed according to the bilingualism plan that the students at this grade they are. So let's see what happened here in this proposal. Okay, so as you can see, the proposal in this ELT is a course in 11th grade. It is in a public school, and it is located in the town of a municipality in Santander. Okay, so here you can see the map, our beautiful country map, and the group, thanks God, it is 18 students. Okay, so pedagogically, you can get higher results with this group, with this number specifically, because it is not common that you can find a group with this number of students in a public school. But with this number, it is really particular, and you can get a lot of good results. Their ages, their ages go from 16 to 20 years. And they're about to present the ICFES test. As I said before, the English level that they are supposed to be, it is B1, because we all know that when you are in 11th grade, so it is supposed that you are performing a B1 English level. But in this case, for this ELT proposal, we're going to drill only in two skills, okay, which we divided in the previous task, and we considered they were the most important according to the focus or the approach that the group that is presenting the ICFES test, because we know that the ICFES test only measures the comprehension, the reading comprehension and grammar issues. The ICFES test doesn't measure your speaking or listening, so not at all. So that's why we decided to focus only on these two skills, grammar and reading comprehension. So far the proposal is going to be pointed, or is going to aim to this to the development of these two skills. Okay, so the first one is the reading comprehension, and the other is the English grammar. So everybody doesn't like too much grammar because they think it's bored. I don't know, they fear the grammar, but it is really important. Okay, so the method that is going to be used for this ELT or this proposal in ELT, it is the goal-based. So the students or the teacher, he has to set down some specific goals with the students. And he has to take a holistic process, in order that he can see all the achievements that they can get during the time, and the approach is going to be the blended learning, because lately, or nowadays, we are going through a quarantine. We are locked down during these days, so the approach is going to be blended learning, and the evaluation and the assessment, it is going to be mediated through technology, because if we use blended learning, so the most logical is that we are going to use technology in all the components and in all the evaluations or assessments and all the activities that we can propose in this proposal for evaluation. Okay, this proposal is not going to evaluate or assess some specific topics. Okay, so this is going to give only some points of view about how you can direct, or how can you go through your topics in order to evaluate and assess. Okay, but this is not going to show a specific topics like present perfect or past continuous or something like that. No, not at all. Okay, so let's continue with the other slide. Okay, so for this proposal in ELT, I consider that it has to be divided, or we have to break down this proposal into these stages. Okay, so I consider there are 6 stages which are really important to get nice results, or to get good results in the technologically mediation, you know. Okay, so the first is giving the guides. Okay, so the teacher first, he or she, I mean, they have to give, prepare, organize, plan, whatever you can call it, the guides. Okay, so we have to organize them according, you know, the curricular net. So we know that we all have some contents to be taught, and according to those contents, so we have to organize the guides, and we have to give them to the students. So the first, or what I consider, is that we have to be a kind of how can I say it? We have to be conscious, you know, about not to fool the students with guides, you know, with 70, 80, 90, even 100 exercises, because I have seen some guides, and my God, it is a guide that you can that you say, my goodness. So when is the student going to develop all those guidelines? And even better, when is going to the teacher? Is going to evaluate or grade those guidelines, because they are really huge. They are tremendous. They have a lot of exercises, and I mean, that is the first stage. Okay, so continue. I mean, with the other stage, we have to develop the contents through blended learning, you know. So for this case, the teacher has to have some previous knowledge in the use of technology, because all the mediation has to be through technology, and all the mediation has to be through Skype, through Zoom, another Google Meet, I don't know, Jitsi. You know, there are a lot of platforms that the teacher can use to do the mediation with the students, and that is the way where the teacher can connect with the students. Okay, the other stage is following and supporting through virtual mediation. Okay, because it is not only about to give the guide, you know. It consists about the giving support, you know, in another session, about how are they developing the guides, if they have some troubles, if they have some doubts. So it is really important that the teacher keep staying in touch with them through another session in order to solve these doubts that can be raised in this process. The other stage that I consider is really important is practicing through e-tools. Okay, so in internet, so there are a lot of e-tools. There are a bunch of them that you can use, and it is important to select them properly according to the skill that we want to drill. Okay, so later we are going to see the e-tools that we're going to use, or that I consider they are most useful for this evaluation in ELT. And the other is the receiving guides and giving proper feedback. Okay, so imagine that you give a guideline or a workshop with 100 exercises, because for real, I have seen those guides. So you have to give a feedback, you know, a proper feedback and an assessment for that workshop. Okay, so it is not only to say to the student, okay, so you got a 5, or okay, so you have a 4.5. No. Okay, no, the idea is that give them a deep feedback in order that they can understand if they, for example, had a failure, or if they failed, So give them a proper feedback in order that they can understand what you know, or which were the mistakes that they made. And of course, if they did it well, so congratulate them. That is the most important too. And the last one is the evaluation and assessment process. Okay, so in this case, so we can use a lot of e-tools too to evaluate and assess, and then you can continue with the process of giving the guidelines. Okay, so I consider that all these elements go around this learning process through virtual mediation. Okay, so let's continue with the reading comprehension. Okay, so for the reading comprehension skill, the technique, okay, so which is enhancing reading comprehension, you know, in the mother tongue, and the English reading comprehension test, and learning and practicing new vocabulary. Okay, so for each of these techniques, here I have some tools. So for example, when you are trying to read in English, so it is better that you improve your mother tongue, which is Spanish, and then you try to improve a little bit more, because if you are good in your mother tongue, all the competences, all the good competences, they are going to transfer, you know, or transit to this target language, which is English. Okay, so for this we can use English PDFs. So we can use a tool that I use a lot, which is Quizzes. We can use Quizlet and Kahoot too, you know, to practice vocabulary, new vocabulary in the reading comprehension. Okay, so here we have the tools. These are Quizzes, Quizlet, the Zoom, because you need to program the sessions with this application. For me, is the best, because it gives you a lot of elements that can control the discipline into the classroom, into the virtual classroom. Okay, and here for the grammar skill, you can use some of the same tools that I told you before, which are Quizlet, Kahoot. I like to use Will Decide, the Zoom or the Skype, you know, and I like to use the British Council website to create or to practice or to drill with the grammar skill. Okay, so it is also important that the students can recognize all the grammar issues about verbs, adjectives, noun, and so on, you know. And also it is important to enhance the mother tongue grammar competence, you know, because as I said before, if they have good competence in their mother tongue, so it is better, or it is easier for them to achieve a better understanding and learning in a target language. Okay, so here we have some pictures. Okay, so this is the Will Decide. I like to use it a lot. This is the British Council, and there is also a website for kids, if you handle kids. And my proposal for evaluation, it also contains to use Google Forms. Yes, for example, I use these Google Forms to create a whole ICFES test. Yes, for example, this year I used the prueba de ICFES simulacro 12 de marzo, but I mean, sadly it was cancelled due to the quarantine. But my students, they did it through virtual mediation when we were at the classroom, and they did it. They got great results, and it was online, so you don't have to grade anything. The program is the one that grades everything and in real time, so it is good. But the thing is that you have to take I mean, all the PDFs, and then you have to download it, and then you have to pass them to the Google Forms, which is a little bit complicated. It takes a little bit of time, but if you want that your students are accustomed or are used to this kind of test, so it is a good option. Okay, and the last one is to keep the learning fun, exciting, enjoyable, and entertainment. And of course, engage the family in this learning proposal, you know, because the family is the most important. If you keep connected the family, so this proposal will be successful. Okay, so that's all. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry that this video was too long. I was expecting 10 minutes, but anyway, too long. Okay, so thank you so much, partners. Thank you so much, my tutor, and I hope to see you in one more time. Bye bye.